Thank you. My name is Kasia Zielińska and I'm representing zusa. Together with me, this info session is hosted by Natalia Martynenko, the project coordinator of Culture Hubs in zusa. And yeah, as I mentioned, we are going to share with you more about the project. The whole meeting is going to last around 1 hour. We start with the small presentation, and then we will give you the time for asking questions, and we will be happy to answer them. Together with our partner, Insha Osvita, that is based in Ukraine, we implement the new 2 years program supported by European Union, and the project is called Cultural. We aim at helping people from Ukraine who are displaced by the war, especially families and children, and with the integration into the new communities through cultural activities. The project focuses on cultural professionals and organizations that can enable this process. And within Culture Helps, we prepared 3-level grant scheme that consists of individual grants, project grants that we are going to talk about today, and collaboration grants that bring together organizations from Ukraine and those outside Ukraine or into like cooperation. Sorry, I'm having technical issues. Culture Helps is not only about grants, but also we planned some other activities within the whole program. We would like to offer consultations for cultural practitioners that aim to support art managers and grant writers into strengthening their capacities to apply for grants. We are also going to organize community calls that serves as info sessions, but also a space for exchange and building new connections between culture managers, activists, volunteers that work with internally displaced people and refugees from Ukraine. Another component of Culture Hubs are webinars dedicated to mental health. We are going to invite external specialist therapists who will bring the awareness of mental health in culture activities in work of culture organizations. Based on those webinars, which I just mentioned, we are going to prepare and publish the toolkit with the methods and tips how to work with people affected by war, people with traumas, and how to integrate these methods into cultural activities. And the last component of Culture Helps are offline networking meetings that will happen twice during the whole project period. This is going to be a space for cultural workers to share their experience, good practices, and build connections for the future. And now I will give the floor to Natalia, that will share, who is going to share more about project grants.
Thank you, Kasia. Доброго дня всім, колеги. Can you hear me well? Great. So I will talk more about our project grants for integrations through culture. So our project grants, they offer support for cultural organizations that focus their work on people who have been forced to move to different regions of Ukraine from their home or to different Creative Europe countries. As potential projects that can be applied for our project grant support and may be focused on integration of displaced people or refugees, facilitation on their integration into context through culture and support of their mental health. Additional efforts within our project grant support should be put into involving families and children in the project activities. The proposed activities can have a form of workshops, co-creation processes, educational projects, art therapy, or something similar. Kasia, can you please go to the next slide? Thank you. Yes, to the next slide. These are the main facts on the project grant program. So we will have our project Culture Helps will last for 2 years, and now we just opened our first call, but we will have 4 calls for project grants in 23 and 24. Each call will support around 20 project grants. 70% of the project grants will cover projects in Ukraine, and 30% of the projects that will be applying for our grant support will cover Creative Europe countries. The minimum amount of the grant support is €2,000, while the maximum is €5,000. Now we will talk about who can apply for the grant support. So this must be a non-profit organization or independent cultural initiative based in Ukraine or other Creative Europe country. This should also be actively working on the integration of displaced people or refugees from Ukraine into new realities and communities through culture, in particular families and children, which are in the focus of our project support grants. The application process is the following: that application can be submitted via the registration form at zusa's website or in Shell's Vita website if you are applying through their website. Application can be done in English, and it is preferable language of the application so that our international jury can review these applications, or if it's like difficult, so applications can be applied in Ukrainian language. If you will have any technical issues or difficulties with the internet connection, you can download the document version of the application and submit it via the email that you can see on this slide. And now we will talk about the timeline. So the deadline for receiving your applications for grant support is the 31st of May, Kyiv time. 31st, until the end of 31st of May Kyiv time. Results of the selection process will be announced no later than June 6th. And activities under this call should be implemented by the end of October 30th. So now we'll talk about the selection process and criteria which are important in our project support grants. So the selection process will include check for eligibility. So please make sure that you're eligible to apply for the call, otherwise your application will not be considered. Assessment of proposal by jury. The following aspects will be assessed. So the capacity and competence of the team, 15 points, quality of the proposal, 25 points. And for the quality, it's important to understand how does the project respond to the needs of the target group. Is the project idea focused on displaced people or refugees from Ukraine? Is the integration through culture and facilitation of integration the main scope of the project proposal? Are there any unexpected and cross-sectoral activities? Is mental health awareness included into your project proposal? And are families and children involved in your target groups of their project proposal? Also, we will measure the innovative component or experimental approach in your proposal, and sustainability of action is also important in the project proposal. This is mainly everything what we wanted to cover during this presentation. Thank you very much for attention. And now we are open for your questions, comments, considerations.
Hello, can I have a question? Is it possible that if potentially we apply and the organization is based in Ukraine and we work in Ukraine, but one team member is based in Europe, but this team member participates in activities online?
Yes, it is possible to apply.
Thank you.
Yes, Maria. We can't hear you.
And now,
Yes.
yeah, so we have a question about which type of organization could apply. So we are a communal enterprise based in Ukraine, and like we made a lot of activities with refugees and a lot of stuff, like volunteer, but like we are a communal enterprise, so could we apply the for the project? Ми комунальне підприємство.
Так, ми зрозуміли. У вас є легальний статус? Do you have a legal status in Ukraine?
Yeah.
Yes. So if you have a legal status in Ukraine, so you can apply for the project support.
Okay, so and the next question is about country participants. So we want to create a project that will build a bridge between Ukraine and Romania, but you pinned in like in the info of the project the country who can support us, or like the country who is a part of Creative Europe, but we didn't see like a Europe, but like European country like Romania or Germany, for example, but it's basically a part of European, like Create Europe. So if we could create a project with them, like Romania, like country, or like Romania or Germany, for example. Like.
Yes, I mean the Creative Europe countries. These are 40 countries that basically covers the whole Europe, and Romania and Germany are, of course, eligible. My question would be only if Maria, if you would like to build a collaboration between you and organization in Romania or Germany.
Yeah, so we have like two ways. If like if it will be correct, one of them. So first, we want, like in general, we want to create a CO2 project about migration for Ukrainian people in Ukraine who was refugees from another region of Ukraine. So for them, we want to invite like a Romania director who could manage and to create a performance with us and to share with their experience after the Soviet Union broke. And we, in this situation, we could make the bridge between two different theaters from Ukraine and Romania, or we could just communicate with director, like directly with creator.
So what I would suggest is if you want to invite the director to Ukraine, to go with project grants. If you want to do real cooperation, then wait a bit and apply for collaboration grants that we are going to open the call in 2 weeks. And it's more about collaboration between two countries, organizations from different countries. So if it's real, doing something together, then collaboration grants are something for you. If it's just inviting the director from Romania to come to Ukraine, then project grants.
Okay, thanks. And the last question, it will be about from which data we could start the project. Like, because we will have a result in June, 6th of June. So in which terms we could start the project? Like from July, or how we could manage this time?
So I will start. Maybe Kasia, if you would like to add something, you can open your mic. So our project that will receive grant support within Culture Helps, they need to be implemented until 20th of October this year.
Yeah.
So it means that you just need to timely plan your activities, so that you have enough time to implement your activities, and then also time to report about them.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter when we will start the project, but we have like the term, so we should end it, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Thanks.
I mean, you can start it from the day that the results are announced, and you are aware that it's you that is going to receive the grant.
Yeah. Thanks.
Igor,
Yes,
please.
Igor.
Okay. Do you hear me? Okay, thanks. Yeah, this is my question first. It's like after the I don't see these girls. This Maria question. So you say that, because what I know from the experience about the previous grants, there is some time when we, for example, if that sign the deal or something like this. So it's really like I could start activities from, I don't know, middle of June, yeah, and something like this, because it's for me it's important. And another question about the ending. So it's 30th of October, and it's time when the report also should be submitted, or this is the end of activities, but report after. How it works?
Okay, this is the end of activities. So that's an implementation phase. And then you still have time to report.
Okay. Okay, and now my questions. I have a question about, because, for example, for me, like we have NGO, theatrical NGO, but also I'm working like in the war archive project, and I am gathering evidences of war crimes and communicating and doing activities a lot with people from Mariupol. And for example, I imagined the project when I was speaking for the students from Mariupol, and somehow what you told about the your expectations, every of this expectation is okay, except this moment about the children and families. And my question about how is crucial this point in this evaluation projects, or the possibility of accepted to your grant, if it will not be with the little children and families, but only about, for example, for students who are displaced.
You can apply. It's one of the criteria of like, as Natalia shared, this is a quality with maximum points, and one of the component that is going to be assessed is children or families involvement in the project. But if you don't have this component, it doesn't mean that you won't get the grant. It means that you might receive less scores.
Okay, and also a question about the possible partners. For example, what I am saying about Mariupol, that could be some partners like cultural department or another. Is somehow this could have impact on the evaluation? Is it okay? Is it better or not, or it doesn't have any impact or on your grant?
If it's a real collaboration, then and it also brings sustainability of the project, which is also one of the selection criteria, then it's of course good to mention that. But if you don't have a partner, but you are still doing amazing project with your own organization or your collective, we encourage you still to apply.
Okay, maybe I think also I'm interested in the media factor, because I haven't seen it for your grant, but sometimes there's some like ask you to show your activities in media or something like this. Is it important for your grant or not?
I think,
yeah, Natalia.
I think that, of course, like if we communicate, like it's important to communicate about activities as much as we can. I think it's also important to tag us as the people who like organizations from whom you received your grant. We don't have any special requirements about this from the organizations that will be implementing the grant, but also we have important component within our work that we would like, maybe at some point we would like to tell about the grant support and the activities that you were implemented, and in this regard we will be communicating directly to the people who were implementing the grant, and for example prepare with them human stories to show what was the added value of the grant and the activities.
Okay, and one thing, because you also didn't say much about their budget or about the reporting, so how it will we need to have some deal. For example, if this organization, should I my team, should I sign some contracts on doing some activities, or how it works after reporting and so on? And are there some limits on salaries or on budget or something like this?
So it's important to understand that this grant agreement will be submitted between your organization and Insha Osvita, who is coordinating this particular grant in Ukraine. And yes, you will have agreement for the framework of your framework. And yes, so the grant should be implemented until 30th of October. Kasia, do you know what is a reporting period after the grant will be implemented? Like, do we have 2 weeks or something like this?
I'm not sure because it will be also defined by Insha Osvita, but also I will just share in the chat, the Telegram channel also, that you always can ask questions. And because we are not sure now, Igor, we will take this question with us. And we will share the answer as soon as we have it. Yeah, because... So we don't want to share with you some things that will be not relevant. So as we are not sure, we are parking this question, taking it with us, and we will come back with the answer. Yeah, because maybe we can also give a space for others to ask questions. Sorry, and because, maybe and then this budget things are very crucial, and so if you could somehow to show about taxes and also on. Thank you. So for sure, after you receive the grant, you will be asked to submit the narrative report and financial report, so that the bank statement of the spendings occurred for the project. But I don't know if there is a template, or if you have 1 month or 2 months for that. So I'm taking this question with me, okay, and we will, maybe also you can leave your email. We'll just come back to you, or we will announce it in our idea is to collect the questions, and if we don't know the answer, we collect the questions, and the answers will be posted on our website and in our social medias. So Daiva?
Hello. I have a question. We had partners from Ukraine even before the pandemic, and they are in Kiev and they are tired, and if they want to come for some like youth exchange, like youth camp, if we could organize, could we get funding for them to for their trip and some for accommodation if we organize activities for them? This is one. And the second one, if we have like a refugees community in our village, could we apply for some funding to organize activities involving Lithuanian kids and moms with Ukrainians, which live in our surroundings? Thank you.
Thank you, Daiva, for the question. So I think that it's important also in the project grant, as we also presented the objectives of the grant. It's important that within this project support, it's not only like costs for traveling for people from Ukraine, but also it's important to talk about some activities that will help people through culture, or like cultural activities, through which people from Ukraine can, I don't know, lower the effect of the war that they have. So I think that it's important also in your case to think about particular activities that can be done when you bring young people from Ukraine to Lithuania.
May I add, because we have an artistic 10-day program where Lithuanian will come and which can join people from Kiev school, Kiev Lyceum, to come to us to join the same program. It's about social arts and in general, how to solve community problems using social arts or artistic methods, mainly visual arts and theater. This is a topic which we have programmed. We just would like the Ukrainian people, 10, 12, I don't know how much of them could join us in this camp.
So I think that in general, this project of yours can be supported through, like you can apply through our project grant support.
And but if to make local for Ukrainian who lives in our
Also
we can do that.
Yeah, as we also told about the presentation, that our main focus will be to support like 70% of the project that will apply to receive support from us. There will be Ukrainian organizations or initiatives, but 30% it can be any country from Creative Europe countries. So Lithuania is Creative Europe country, so of course you can apply with your project, and you are welcome to apply.
Thank you.
Thank you for the question. And we also have a question from Olena. You're welcome, Olena.
So, hello, and also like very connected question with previous, because now we are working also in Lithuania by our theater, but we are Ukrainian theater, like theater of refugees who was fully relocated, and we connect to work here. And we have like two organizations, our organization in Ukraine, under which we worked in Ukraine and usually apply from this organization and so on. And we have organization here under which we are working now. And we think about our project in Lithuania because we work here with refugees and so on and so on. And I wanted to ask, what is better, apply like from Ukrainian side, from Ukrainian organization, or better apply like from Lithuanian part? Do you have some preference in that question? And I have one more maybe after.
Yeah, so I think that if you are Ukrainian organization that was displaced by war to Lithuania, so you're applying for the project support as a Ukrainian organization. So for me, like it's the same if you apply from Ukraine or if you apply from Lithuania. It doesn't matter because nevertheless, you're a Ukrainian organization.
Okay, thank you so much. And one more question. Can we apply a few times like in next waves of program, or if we are applying in this way, we can't apply more?
Yes, you can apply also to different waves that will be announced through these 2 years of cultural helps.
So it's like not cross projects, like so we can. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you for your questions. Also, do we have any more questions, colleagues?
I can. Do you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Hi. I present Women Aid International. This is charity organization. We help displaced women and children. We have many activities, and now we have like supporting theater with who we work. And this theater has a theatrical play, and we want like replace it families watch the play as art therapy to work with this theme of war, because this play actually is about war. It's made by famous Ukrainian activist and playwright. He's actually defend our country also. So it's like all connected. So, and there's the question if something like this could be a project for this grant.
Within your project, I have like a few questions maybe to your. Correct me if I'm wrong. Within your project, you would like to apply for the grant support to receive money for the production of the theatrical performance, or for what exactly?
Yeah, it's like this budget will go to the production of the play, and all refugees, women and families, and also our defenders gonna be invited to this play, and also like for free, of course. So this budget will go to the production. And for them, it's going to be the opportunity to work with this STEM and also to work with the artist after the play, with the not formal conversation with the play writer and also with the actors.
Thank you for the details. So I think that as we also were describing the activities that can be applied for our grant support, so it can be like art therapy, but in very different forms. It depends, of course, on you, on your vision, and what project can you suggest under art therapy. But if you're suggesting it in the form of theatrical play, it can be. So, of course, you can also apply.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. If anyone else had a question? Okay, I think that then we are...
and sorry.
Yes, sure.
Me again. So I have another question about like another project that we could also apply. The main idea is to create a performance in Germany. But the team of the theater based in different Europe country, like we are also refugees from Europol, and we want to create a performance in one place and come to this place all together. How we could manage it, if we could make a trip for this place and create something there, or it will be based like, or it's project based only like for people from one or two country. So yeah, so the situation is that all participants in really very different countries, like more than 5 countries. Yeah, so how we could manage it.
So is it like people from Ukraine?
Yeah, from Ukraine.
I think that in your budget proposal, you just can have this line which is called travel costs, and you just put the travel costs for all the participants that need to take part in your performance. And then you just prepare as a normal proposal for the grant support within your communal institution, and then you just I don't know, it doesn't matter actually where people from Ukraine are based in Europe, if they're in these Creative Europe countries, so you just put it in your budget as travel cost. And
okay, yeah, thank you.
And if I may jump in, because if I understood correctly, you would like to travel and to bring your Ukrainian colleagues, dancers, the choreographers together.
Yeah.
And the aim of our project is mostly to support integration into new communities through culture. So I'm not to be sure. I'm not to be clear. I'm not so sure that it is actually something that will be assessed very, with high scores. But I would suggest you to check the On the Move program. I don't know if you ever checked it, but there's exactly the program of European Union dedicated to support mobilities.
Yeah,
because that's mobility. What you just
I
mentioned.
understood here. I know about that program, but maybe I wasn't so clear in explanation, because like it's one of the part of the project. So we should combine people to make a performance for the refugees. So to make this performance, and refugees who now based in Germany could come and watch it, and like to create like their integration more clear, like flow.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I understand
yeah,
now.
it's
Yes, okay.
one part. Yeah.
Then sorry, I misunderstood you. Sorry.
Okay, if there are no other questions left, I think that we are done with our info session. I want to say thank you very much for coming today and for listening to the presentation and also asking your questions. As Kasia already told, we will publish frequently asked questions on our website and social media pages. And also you can write down at any time before the deadline, of course, to the Telegram chat of Insha Osvita, and then you can also reply in real time to any other questions that may appear in the process of your application. Thank you very much, everyone, and have a nice and safe rest of the day.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Looking forward to applications.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay.
Let's